All right, here we go. Hello, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm teacher Casey, and I'm here with Sherry. Hey, Sherry.
Hello.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Right now I'm good because I'm caffeinated. About an hour, I'll be ready for lunch and bed.
In bed?
Yeah, like a nap, you know?
Right. Did you have classes this morning?
I did. I had a 5 a.m. class with one of my VIP kid regulars.
Okay. I only had a meeting this morning. So, hey, Rebecca said she's first. Jerry said she's second. Joan, hey, welcome. What's the question marks for? Are you wondering why they're saying first and second? Sometimes we give out teacher no-shows and things like that. Not really. So welcome. You're here to listen and learn about Allschool. So Sherry, why don't you introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Casey. I am so grateful that we are friends, and maybe one day we can travel to one of those excellent locations behind you. So my name is Sherry. Like she said, I'm Sherry Gibson. I'm an online speech language pathologist or speech therapist. Most people are familiar with an ESL teacher and also a copywriter.
Excellent. So yeah, Allschool.
Yeah.
What platforms have you worked for before or are currently working for?
I had to write these down right before we went live because I'm like, I don't know if I could just rattle them off.
Right.
Right. So like I mentioned, I started teaching online. Oh gosh. Actually, I started working as a speech therapist online first, and that was about 5 years ago. And I was pretty skeptical about doing speech therapy online, but I quickly realized it can be very beneficial. And in some instances, it is as helpful as working with someone right in front of you. Or sometimes it's even better, depending on the particular student. But my cousin, she had reached out to me on Facebook and said, I think you'd really like this. And she was talking about VIP Kid. And I said, well, how much is it? How much is the pay? And she told me, and this was 4 years ago. So the pay was really pretty good back then for most people entering. But even at that time, I thought, oh, I can make how much this speech therapy. And also, I'm not a morning person. I hate early mornings. So I was like, no, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to try it. But then my daughter started playing competitive travel softball. Casey, it costs so much money.
I know. My son played travel baseball.
I was like, when I saw the fees, I was like, okay, I can handle that. And then the travel, it's like every weekend. And it just kept adding up. And I loved it. It was so much fun for my daughter. And we enjoyed going to I loved hanging out with the parents, but it was just so expensive. So I had to find another income stream. And so I was like, okay, I'll try the online teaching. Then I loved it. So since VIP Kid, I'm still there. Actually, I have 2 regulars that book me still. They're in Hong Kong. So I'll hang on to them as long as I can. And then I was a mentor teacher at Zebra English, which we were around for about 2 years. Unfortunately, we were affected by the double reduction policy, but I really enjoyed being a mentor teacher there. I also am part owner of Rapid Fire English, which is actually a company that we help people from Latin American countries who want to learn to speak English. So it's all adults. And I am part of ASAP. ASAP Learning is a book reading program that is based in Hong Kong, and kids are on their iPads and you read stories with them and ask them questions. It's so much fun. And I am their lead teacher. And then I am part of an organization called DEM Academy at Outschool, which then led to Allschool, because I've been with the Academy at Outschool for maybe 3 months, and the bookings have been kind of slow, just sporadic. And the organization leader is working her tail off to market us and to get us bookings. And she's known for her Roblox classes. Casey, I'm not a gamer. I tried, and I'm like, I played with my nephew who just turned 7, and he's like, Aunt Shetty, because he has a little issue with his R. He's like, Aunt Shetty, you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, I know, Clark. And he was so great. I mean, he was so awesome because he still let me play, even though I got him killed all the time.
Right.
But I tried, and I was like, this is not my jam. Preschool students, that's my jam. And so I'm finally starting to get a few bookings at Outschool and getting some great reviews. But and then we're at Kid Pass, of course. You and I are at Kid Pass.
Yeah.
And I really like Kid Pass. I think that they've got some great things going. I love their live stages. Those are a lot of fun. They do market mostly to the younger students. So that is kind of where my wheelhouse is. But and I'm at Hollow as well, but I'm not teaching there as much now just because I'm just having other things, but you're doing amazing things at Hollow, and Hollow is just for adults. Hollow is amazing. I really think that they have a great program going there. And then I have about 30 private students that I see.
Wow.
And I have China, the United States, the Middle East. But let's talk about Allschool. This is what I'm giving a lot of attention to right now because we just launched on Monday.
Yeah. And Jerry shares your pain with the travel ball costs and stuff. They did marching band from like 2012 to 2015. So it was very expensive.
Their marching band is so competitive. I've been to a couple of events. So talented. Oh, and the people who do marching bands and the musicians, they're kind of like athletes too. They practice when it's like 100 degrees outside, 90% humidity with heavy instruments for hours. They're the real deal.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So let's get to Allschool. What is Allschool?
Allschool. I like to say that Allschool, I know Allschool probably doesn't like always being compared to Outschool, but I think it's really helpful for people who are in our field to understand. To me, Allschool is Outschool, but amped up on steroids. And the reason why I say that, not because they're cheating, but because not only can you bring your own content to Allschool, but you can teach their content too.
Nice.
And that's one thing that I don't know about you, but I hear that a lot from teachers who used to be at VIP Kid, Go-Go Kid, Wales, wherever. Yeah. And they're like, I don't want to have to create my own content.
Yeah.
And I understand because, some people just, it takes creativity, and I think everyone is creative, but you just feel overwhelmed, right?
Yeah.
I can't draw for anything. So but I slowly started creating more content, and I am creating content, but at Allschool, they do have curriculum that they will provide to you. They actually are founded by a company that's called Spark, and they focus more on math and also like intuitive thinking, more logic and gamified types of lessons. And I think I read that they had hundreds of thousands of students as Spark, but now they're kind of diverging, and they are headquartered in Singapore. Their target market currently is Asia, Australia, and the United States.
Okay.
So teaching hours, I am going to look at, so I am a founding teacher there. There were several people there. I would say, I can't even guess because I asked and they weren't sure how many teachers are there right now.
Right.
But they gave a deadline and said, if you can apply and you're accepted before this date, you will be considered a founding teacher. So I'm a founding teacher. I'm also one of their beta testers of their platform. So I taught a class today.
Nice.
This was my third attempt, but my first class that actually had students that it went through, and we had a class, and it was a lot of fun. So not only are you teaching Beijing time hours, but it's extended into the day a little bit further. And then also there are those evening classes as well that I actually had a request for a class at 9 a.m. yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's awesome.
This morning, did you teach your own curriculum or did you use
I
one
did.
of Allschool?
So that's a great question. So Casey, right now, they are not booking classes with their curriculum yet.
Okay.
So they have two different programs. They have what's called PGC, which is the company's content. And then there's UGC, which is user created content, or UGC, user generated content. And so I taught a class, let's see, this morning was my phonemic awareness class. And so you set your rates just like you do with Outschool, both for the classes that you create the curriculum for, and you also set your rates for the classes that you use their curriculum for, which I found very interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. So what do they take out?
Very good question, because that's really important, right?
I'm just trying to think of the questions that listeners will ask. So I've done a few of these teaching platforms to have some questions ready.
Right, exactly. So with the UGC content, so when I'm bringing my curriculum, there's some really cool stuff. So as a founding teacher, they gave us the option of, as a founding teacher, to have 15% of your class fee is what they would take for you to use their system, their marketplace. But they actually decreased it a little bit. So if you use their platform, their streaming service, which is called ClassPod, which is very similar to Zoom, it's not quite as extensive as what ClassIn is, for those of you who teach on ClassIn. So I would say it's more like a Zoom or LearnCube type of thing. So they only take out 13% if you use their service. If you use Zoom, which is also an option, it's 15%. Currently with ClassPod, you cannot utilize videos or animation. So if you animate, like I animate a lot of my slides on Canva, I know some people do that with their Google Slides and stuff. So you cannot use ClassPod. So you'd have to use a Zoom classroom. However, they're telling me within the next week, they are going to have screen sharing as well on ClassPod, because screen sharing is not available on ClassPod this week, but I hear that it's coming. So 13 to 15% is what you're looking on, depending on what platform you decide to use. And it's the same situation if you are teaching their content, Allschool's content. However, they'll also add a fee for using their content. So for example, right now they're piloting some of the math classes that Allschool, because that's what that's what they've been doing with their app. And an example would be the fee would be 50 cents per student per finished class. So you set your rate knowing that they're going to take 15% if you use Zoom, 13% if you use ClassPod, and then 50 cents for every student in a finished class. So you won't get docked if, let's say, you only have one student and they don't show, you'll still get paid for that. Now, if you're not a founding teacher, you still get the 15% option until June. So they are offering that right now until June, but I believe that time period is coming up soon. I think it's November 20th. So you have to apply and be accepted by November 20th. And I'll confirm that today and I'll add that in the chat. So have you worked for a startup before, Casey?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, the trash truck is coming by. That's why I keep muting myself. But I have worked for startup companies.
It's things change by the moment, right? Yeah. So that's one thing that I just wanted to share with your audience is that if you do try to work with a startup, it can be super exciting, but you have to be willing and open-minded to change is happening. And it can be kind of frustrating because they'll tell you to do one thing and then they might change it the next day. And it's because they're learning as they're going to. Now, I will say the staff at Allschool has been really amazing. They've listened to the teachers because initially they weren't going to offer Zoom. It was just ClassPod. And there are a lot of teachers, they were really marketing to the Outschool teachers. They're like, we want Outschool teachers because you already have curriculum developed and we want to get going. And a lot of the Outschool teachers were saying, hey, I use things from different websites and things like that. So how can I do that if your platform does not offer screen sharing? So they said, okay, well, we'll offer a Zoom option too. So they listened to that. And so I've been pretty pleased with that. Of course, everything takes a little bit of time. They have also been very upfront and said, there's not going to be a lot of bookings at the beginning. And so if anyone is thinking, oh, I'm going to run to Allschool and I'm going to give them all my time slots, well, that's cool. But just beware that there may not be a ton of bookings at the beginning.
Right. I think that's with all, platforms. When you're getting started on a platform, you have to market yourself. You have to become well known before you start getting all those bookings. So you need to be patient on any platform.
You're right. And you've heard me. I've been a little frustrated with Kid Pass because I've been putting some time in there as well, because I do enjoy that platform and the kids have been so much fun.
I
know. You have more kids in the classroom, but I don't know. It feels more like a traditional classroom, I guess you would say, because we have more students. And I've been there a while and I was like, oh, I'm getting a few bookings here and there. I'm getting some great reviews, but I'm just not seeing a ton of bookings. But then yesterday I got a message from a parent who had been in my class that day. And I only had 3 students in the class. And they said, we want to have a class with you every day, Monday through Friday. Yes, it's worthwhile.
But a good note is we've been doing live stages to get these students, and it's paid live stages. So I do like that, because before they weren't paid. So you're like trying to do all these demos, and Rebecca said getting started is hard. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get started and get your little following going. So I think Rebecca, you'll do well on there with she's got fun science and math things on there. I think her niche will do really well.
Yeah, what I like about Allschool is they do have a lot of STEM focus, but for example, some of the tags, you can tag your class, and some of the tags are things like nature, plants, sports. So they're really thinking outside the box. They're not just saying, oh, we just want the core academics. And so I think that's great. They really want more music and art classes.
Oh, her baby just saw me and said, Teacher Casey. Oh, you just made my morning. Hey, Teacher Lena. Cool. Good morning. Lena's here. So fun when you guys stop in the chat. I love hanging out with everybody. So Allschool, you can tag your classes. So that's really neat. I do like that it's not just science. It's, you can categorize it a little bit more niche down.
Yeah, you really can. I had a class that is about the corn harvest. I have a former colleague at the brick and mortar school where I was at, and they have a family farm. And I just texted her because she's a preschool student. So I worked really closely with the preschool teachers. And I said, hey, is there any way you could catch some video? And I wasn't thinking that she was going to do, I just wanted a little clip. She seriously was out in the field. She videoed the combine coming down, picking the corn, and then she followed it all the way from picking it to then putting it in the wagon, to then the wagon, putting it into the semi truck. She talked about rolling the tarp over the semi so that the corn wouldn't blow out. And then she followed them to the grain bin and showed, and so there's all these vocabulary words, and it's just really awesome. So I made it into a class, and I shared it with her so that she can share it with her students. And I tagged 6 tags because it's nature, seasons, plants, science, language, and just really kind of cool.
I think I need to see that video just so I can see it. Patrick says, thanks. Hello, Patrick. Thanks for coming. Rebecca. Oh, Esther just saw me too. Tell the girls I said hi.
Oh, that's so cool that all of the teachers' babies know you. They probably watch you.
Come on here with me. Rebecca comes on here, I don't know, a couple times a week.
Yes, right.
Rebecca's always helping me. So we don't know how many students and teachers there are. You said they are located in Singapore, right?
Yes. Now I can tell you right now they have 900 and some teachers on their Facebook group. They do use
Okay.
Dean Talk for all of their correspondence. So let's see. I'm just going to kind of look and see. I think on Dean Talk you can see how many people are on there, right? I'm
I
newer
don't
to
know that.
yes. So there's 175 members that are the PGC, the ones who want to teach all schools content. There are 175 members in that group. Now, that being said, there's like 6 people from Allschool in that group. And then in their group of teachers who are ones that that are bringing their own content, that group is at 49.
Okay.
So, and then, like I said, we have 5 teachers who are the beta testing teachers, such as myself. And I don't know how many teachers are teaching their beta classes for their math, which is the Allschool curriculum.
Gotcha. And what are the requirements
Great question.
for a teacher to teach there?
Yeah, because honestly, it's not really clear yet. On their website just went live on Monday. And
Okay.
so prior to that, they were taking applications. They do have a Facebook group as well that you can find, which is Allschool Educators. Let me I'll pull that up while I'm talking. But so you have to be a native English speaker.
Mhm.
You also have to live in countries like Canada, United States, UK, Australia, New Zealand. I believe Ireland is listed. And so the countries that English is the native language. So South Africa is also one. So, and then of course you have to have all the regular equipment that you would have teaching online.
She's talking about the good internet, probably some lighting and microphone, headphones, that type of stuff.
Yes, to teach the curriculum from Allschool, you also have to have a bachelor's degree. It doesn't say that you have to have a bachelor's degree in a certain area. It just says bachelor's degree. I will say that on the UGC content, if you apply to be one of those teachers, it doesn't specifically say that you have to have a bachelor's degree. And I have not gotten confirmation yet on whether you do or not.
Yeah.
Piece. What was your other question?
Thanks for coming.
I thought you asked something else, maybe.
Probably. I was asking for requirements. I think you gave them all, though.
Okay.
I think we're good there. So if you want more information about Allschool, I have added Sherry's email. Right now, Allschool doesn't have like a referral program, hopefully in the near future, but Sherry has said that if you have questions, you can email her. She also has a YouTube channel. I added that. It's don't tell me. Is it Teacherpreneur, Sherry?
Yeah, you got it.
And then she also has Instagrams on there. And she has a Facebook group, a great Facebook group for teacherpreneurs, tips and tricks.
And here is the Allschool. This is what it looks like. Allschool Perspective Educators Official. So there are 942 members in that group. So you can join that group if you would like. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys one more thing.
Is that for teachers, students, or both?
That is just for teachers and prospective teachers. So you don't have to be hired already on their marketplace. You can just want to know more. So you can join that. The other thing I forgot to tell you guys. So if there are some of you who love making content, one thing that Allschool had said is that they are going to also allow teachers to, once you have your content listed that you're going to teach it, you can also list it for other teachers to use your content. And then you get a fee for someone else using your content. They have not started that yet, but it's another option.
Great. Giselle said, yep, I'm a new teacher too at Allschool. Laugh out loud, another on my list of schools. Plus, I had asked you, Casey, to join last month. Yeah, remember September and October were pretty tough months for me. So I am not getting involved in Allschool. I am just here talking to a friend about Allschool. Yeah, there's some blurred information for September and October.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough months. So I apologize if I didn't get back with you, but I think I do remember saying I wasn't jumping into anything else. And I'm still at that point where I'm not jumping into anything else right now. But I always love to learn and hear about new things. And yeah, so.
Yeah. And, in the classroom today, there are a lot of teachers who are in that they've been hired, but they're trying to list their classes. It does take some time. Now, I know at Outschool, it can take a few days sometimes to get a response when you submit a class. I mean, usually it's 24 hours, but not always. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. But at Allschool, they're asking for 3 to 4 days because I mean, really, they are inundated. And I can't tell you for sure how many staff they have, but based on the number of people that I see in the Ding Talk groups and the people that I speak with daily, I would estimate that they maybe have 20 people. Again, that's just kind of a guess, but I know that they are working almost 24/7 right now.
Awesome. Hey, Amy Lou, thanks for coming. She wants to know if you can talk about the pay structure again.
Yeah, I certainly can. So you set your rates. You set your rates for your classes, just like at Outschool. And then they take a percentage. If you use ClassPod for your platform, which is a live streaming service similar to Zoom, then they will charge you 15%. So they take 15. So if you have a $10 class, they're going to take $1.50, if my math is correct, from that fee. And if you teach on ClassPod, they will take 13%. So I'm not going to do the math with that one. That's not as easy. Thank you, Casey. you might have to be my accountant.
I love math.
Math is not my friend. That's why I love math with preschoolers, because I can do that math for the most part.
Count on your fingers and toes.
Yes, we counted toes actually in my class yesterday. I love doing it because the kids will put their toes up in the camera and then they'll be like stinky. And then the parents are sitting there laughing. If I've had a pedicure, I'll show my toes. And the parents are laughing because they're like, look at that middle-aged lady putting her toes up in the camera.
I would turn my camera off. I do not like feet.
My daughter's that way too. You cannot touch her feet. You cannot use your feet to touch her feet. She has an issue with feet, but yeah. And there have been some questions in the Ding Talk group because you will see a wide variety of prices right now on the platform. But again, it's your choice. I would imagine based on what I've seen with Outschool, because even though I haven't been with Outschool very long, I've studied them a lot and kind of watched their trajectory because I kept wanting to join. I do think that the prices will start to stabilize more. I think that it will become more competitive. People will have to lower their prices just like they do at Allschool to get a following. And then once you get a following or find your niche, then you're able to, do pretty well. But yeah, that's how it's set.
Sorry. Amy said, I always had my feet in the classroom. It's become what I'm known for.
Then you better not take one of Amy's classes then.
Nope. I've been to her meetup. She has super fun meetups. Doing like Fishbowl Fridays. I loved it.
I need to check out Amy because I don't, Amy, which Amy is this?
Amy Lou.
I've seen the name.
What's that?
I've seen the name in different.
Yeah, in her meetups. They're fun. I don't know. Are you still doing them? I've missed chatting with you, Amy. Oh, she said she missed it too. Yeah, I'm glad you could come. Are you still having your Friday meetups or are they done now? Because they were on the VIP Kid platform.
Oh,
yeah. So is there anything else? Amy, something that she was mentioning earlier. So right now is the founding teachers, right? So the 13 and 15%, but it may change if someone.
Yes. So once June hits, Allschool's going to reassess those percentages, and they may go up for the people who are not founding teachers. They've already found their founding teachers. So like you've missed that boat, but you can still get in early and enjoy the 15% at least until June.
Okay. Awesome. I remember you saying that, so I wanted to make sure we told her about it. So is there anything else we need to know about Allschool?
they have some pretty strong investors. Like Tencent is one of their investors. And that's one that for those of us that are familiar with Chinese companies, that'll kind of stick out to us. They have like 5 or 6 investors. So I'm not concerned about them not being able to pay us type of situation. I think they're pretty solid financially. And the fact that they already had a following prior to starting this marketplace with Spark, I think that it feels a lot like Zebra English to me in a lot of ways.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Sherry and I balance each other out well. She does a lot more research. She's like, hey, did you know this about KidPass? And this is while she's getting started. I'm like, oh. I'm just like, oh, that sounds good. Okay. Sherry's like, let me do some research. Let's figure some stuff out here first. Like, I never think to check on investors and, research that kind of important information for longevity for the platform, but
Right. I mean, because I love being a part of startups. I just do. And I have to say, every startup that I've been a part of, even if it didn't go well, because I was with a startup that was it was called BrainStars. I made some videos for them, and they hired maybe 5 teachers. And then the coup happened. I'm not in Malaysia. I'm sorry. In Myanmar. And I felt so awful because, my students that I had, knowing that just everything was terrible for the country there and not knowing what was going to happen. So that startup they just stopped. So that one didn't go well, but I still learned from that. And so I always look at it as an opportunity to learn something new.
Yeah, definitely. Amy said she loves a good researcher. Yeah, you and Sherry could talk.
Well, I mean, I do that for my writing, like you have to research to write. So you seem like you know what you're talking about. Like I wrote an article on the founder of Spanx the other day. Well, I didn't write the article. I did the research for my friend who's like an amazing writer. And she is an amazing woman. Have you looked up anything about the founder of Spanx?
No.
Do you know what Spanx are?
Yeah, like the underwear that suck you in or whatever.
Yeah.
Of course.
She is such a cool lady. Like she had this idea. She's an entrepreneur, just like a lot of us teachers are. She had an idea. She bought a pair of ivory slacks to wear. And she was like poor, didn't have hardly any money, but she spent this money on these nice pair of pants, and then she couldn't wear them because she could see your underwear line, right? So she's like, they don't sell any type of undergarments that can help you look good in tight pants. So that's how Spanx started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You never know what you're going to learn on this channel. I tell you what.
It's a one-stop shop.
Well, that is all my questions I have for you, Sherry. Any last minute words?
No, if anyone has any questions, feel free to, you can join my channel. You can come to YouTube or my Facebook group or Instagram, or you can shoot a message to Casey because we do talk a lot. And I just keep an open mind. If you're still wanting to teach, try it out. If not, there are so many other things that teachers can do in other fields.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, she's achieved some. Oh, Amy Lou knows about the lady from Spanx as well. That's awesome. All right. Wow. Awesome, guys. Thanks for coming, hanging out in the chat. And Sherry, thanks for sharing Allschool with us.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in a couple of hours for our class.
Yeah, sounds good. Goodbye, everyone.